Philadelphia Eagles fans, welcome back to another episode of the J All Day NFL Show. It's the birthday show today. I turn a whopping 39 years old today. Guys, we're closing in on 15,000 subscribers. I just wanted to say thank you so much for all your support over these last 2 years. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. And because it's my birthday, I got to do an Eagles mock, right? We're only a few weeks away from the draft. Things are getting really exciting, guys. I got an interesting trade for you as well. So here we are. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Eagles are up. Round 1, 32 overall. And remember, if you guys are new to this PFF format, all the picks that I don't make for the Eagles are AI generated, right? So don't kill me when the AI picks crazy people. All right, let's get into it. Colston Loveland is on the board, and he's rising up boards all over the NFL. And a lot of people are even saying that he could be selected before Tyler Warren. He is dealing with a shoulder injury, so he could potentially slide. But that kind of level of receiver ability is very, very rare at pick 32. He's an incredible player, man, and he's got the size to block as well. I think it's a little overstated that he can't block too much, in my opinion, right? But I love him. Only 2 drops all year long. And he had a decent year. It's about 600 yards, 10.5 yards per reception, and 5 touchdowns. And the Michigan quarterback situation was an absolute dumpster fire, right? He was really good in 2023. 649 yards, 4 touchdowns, over 14 yards per catch. Very, very impressive stuff here, guys. He's one of my favorite players. Average depth of target, over 7 yards. Missed tackles for us, only 3. Deep catches, only 3. But remember, he only got, he got targeted 82 times and only made 56 receptions with only 2 drops. You know what that means? Piss poor quarterback play. Very impressive stuff. A lot of people think he's going to go early in the draft. Maybe the Colts, the Rams, or the Chargers with Coach Harbaugh, who coached him at Michigan, right? But he fell to us in this draft. Do we take him here? It's a really, really good question, right? For me, it's between him and I also like Nick Emmanwori, the safety from South Carolina. Big guy, 6'3", 227 pounds. Pretty athletic player, man. Really, really talented. Good size and length. Flashes makeup speed. Fights through screen blocks, but he's got some, stuff you got to be concerned about. He definitely overruns pursuit angles, and you could tell that by the missed tackle rate, right? Kind of got stiff hips. Limited short area quickness. I don't know if he's worthy of that first round pick. Is he a true difference maker? A lot of people like Tyler Booker too, the guard from Alabama. I think he's a little overdrafting, a little bit of a reach here at 32 overall, right? Just taking a look at who else is on the board. No one else that I'm super in love with. I do love Savon Revel. Very, very good cornerback. Trey Amos is definitely in the mix as well here, guys. TJ Sanders, a guy I really, really like. Very impressive from South Carolina. Very good run blocker. He's a very good run defender. Can win in the pass game too. 81 overall pass rush grade. Very, very talented guy. 5 sacks in back-to-back seasons. That's pretty good production from an interior defensive lineman. 6'4", 290 pounds. He kind of fits every scheme, you know what I mean? Definitely probably more of a 3-4 D end in my opinion. I think he fits this scheme very, very well. The Bears, 49ers, and Jets also trending there as well. He definitely makes some sense for the Philadelphia Eagles. But guys, I'm telling you, Colston Loveland would bring such a dynamic playmaker to this offense. And what I would do if I'm Howie Roseman, I draft Colston Loveland, and I immediately get on the phones and call everyone to unload Dallas Goedert. I'm doing it here, guys. Colston Loveland, go watch the tape, guys. He was very productive with pathetic quarterback play this year. I like Colston Loveland. I think he can be a top 10 tight end in the NFL very, very, very soon. Okay, guys. So I made a trade. Here it is. Check out your screen. We traded up in the second round, swapping 64 and 51. We also gave them a round 3 pick in 2026 and around 7 pick in 2027. We're doing a pick swap. We're getting their 4th rounder for our 3rd rounder, pretty much, and then throwing in a 7th round pick in 2027 to move up 13 spots in the 2nd round. All right, guys. Now we're on the board. We've got our tight end. So now is the time we bring in a defensive lineman. Okay. Cornerback, Darian Porter on the board too. So here's our positions of need, right? Safety, D-line, and edge. That's the positions I'm focusing on right now. Omar Norman-Lott, he is extremely, extremely talented. Braden Swinson, another guy, very productive, 9 sacks, 90 overall pass rush grade, 6'4", 250, 3-4 edge guy. This is the guy I'm trading up for, Brady Swinson. Arm length is a plus. Good burst on both sides. Decent speed and natural bend. Active hands. Everything you want in that 3-4 outside linebacker from LSU. 6'4", 250 pounds. I like it, man. I really, really like it. I think he's a really, really talented guy. Shamar Turner's on the board too. Not for me. Jared Ivey from Ole Miss. Another guy, very, very, very talented. 6'6", 285. I'm not sure. He's more of an interior defensive lineman in that 3-4 scheme, in my opinion. I do like Omar Norman-Lott. He's definitely running up draft boards, especially with this pass rush win rate closing in on 20%. Very, very, very impressive. Josiah Stewart is another guy that I really, really like. But I think he's more of a 4-3 guy, in my opinion. Definitely smaller. 6'1", 245. Brady Swinson, 6'4", 250. I love this pick. That's why I'm trading up to get the LSU product. I love him. 51 overall. Okay, now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, we're on the board again in the 3rd round. 32nd overall pick in the 3rd round. That's 96th in this overall class. All right, there's 2 really good safeties on the board right now and a really, really good offensive lineman. Do we go safety? There's a safety I like later in this draft, and I know he's going to be there, so I'm not picking one of these safeties. I'm going offensive line here, guys. Charles Grant, he could play every single position on the offensive line. He's extremely talented. 3-year starter at left tackle. I'm not sure if he stays at left tackle in this NFL type of environment, right? He's 6'4", 300 pounds. I think he's more of a guard, in my opinion, you know. It's a big jump in competition, but I think he's more of a guard. I think he could be in the competition to start at right guard for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's been rising up draft boards all over the NFL, everywhere. He's got great lower body strength. That makes him very, very good pass blocker. Great zone blocker as well. He's got all the tools. I think Statler can really mold this guy into a bona fide starter at the NFL level. Just taking a look at some other guys on the board. Nobody that's I really want. For me, it's either the safeties or Charles Grant, but I think you get similar talent later in the draft. I'm going Charles Grant from William and Mary. He's really, really talented, man. I'm telling you. All right, Eagles fans, we're up 134 overall, pick 32 in the 4th round. Willie Lampkin, oh my gosh, man. He had like a 1-inch vertical leap. The dude, terrible, terrible combine. Ahmad Hossein, a very interesting player here in the 4th round. But the guy I've been drafting him 100 times. Jack Kaiser, captain of the Notre Dame defense, 90 grade in 2023, 83 grade this past season. Played in a ton of big games, guys. He's a boss. He's a boss. True off-ball linebacker. With Nakobe Dean's injury, we need another one. Jack Kaiser's one of the best off-ball linebackers in this entire class. Probably number 2 on my board behind Jihad Campbell as a true off-ball linebacker, right? Now, we're up on the board. We got a shitload of 5th-round picks. 161, 164, 165, 168. Woo, baby. All right, guys. Where do we go here? Where do we go? Nick Nash, very interesting player. 6'3", 195. Bringing in a guy with an X body frame. You know, A.J. Brown has dealt with some injuries, you know what I mean? And these wide receivers are very expensive, right? So bringing in another X-type wide receiver makes some sense. A guy like Nick Nash isn't going to be around a lot longer, in my opinion. So Nick Nash goes to the Eagles at 161 overall. Okay, 164, 165, 168. Taking a look at who's left on the board. I do really want to look at the cornerback position here. Denzel Burke, Longer Beam, Jalen Smith, Jason Marshall, Ventrell Cypress. I do like Cypress. You know, it's a bit of a reach on him, but bringing in guys from Ohio State, playing in big games against some of the best players in the world in college football, Michigan, Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame, Murderers Row. 80 grade in 2023, 2024 73, 2 interceptions. You know, definitely regressed a little bit in 2024, but that's why he's available in the 5th round. 6'1", 193. You know, here are his trends. Bills, Cowboys, Vikings. He's got good eyes in zone. I think he could be really good in this scheme. Great feel for spacing. Willing to be in the position to defend the run. I like this guy. I like that pick in the 5th round. Now we're picking again in the very next selection. Connor Colby on the board. Pretty solid offensive lineman. Kyle Monangai. Logan Brown on the board as well. I want to bring in Logan Brown because he's a right tackle, right? Really, really good player. Hasn't played a lot of football, right? But very impressive this year for Kansas, right? 6'6", 315. You know, I want to bring in some more offensive linemen. I always like offensive linemen. You can never have too many of them, especially at Statland U. Just constantly bringing these guys in and making them better and better and better. All right, so at the safety position, he's already come into the Eagles for one of their meetings, right? Is Malachi Moore, the safety from Alabama, 84.9 overall grade. He's a very, very talented guy. He's on the Eagles' radar already. And all the guys that come in for these top 30 visits, like 64% of their picks have been from these guys from the top 30 visits. Malachi Moore, I love him. 168 overall, he goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, guys, here we are, Philadelphia Eagles fans, another mock draft. We got Colston Loveland in the 1st round. We got an A grade on Braden Swinson as we moved up some spots in the 2nd round. We traded our 2nd round pick and our 3rd round pick for 2026, our 7th round pick in 2027. And in between, we got moved up from 64 to 51, and we got a 4th round pick in the mix. We did really, really good in the middle of the draft here, guys. Charles Grant, Jack Kaiser, Nick Nash, Denzel Burke, Logan Brown. They didn't like the Malachi Moore pick, but they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Go watch the tape. Malachi Moore is an absolute monster. I love Malachi Moore. Very, very talented guy. They gave us a B- overall grade, but PFF grades are kind of shitty anyway. But we got our tight end of the future, and he's a 1st rounder, so we got him for 5 years. I love that. Braden Swinson moving up in the 2nd round was a no-brainer. I love that pick. Charles Grant, Logan Brown, offensive lineman. We got the captain of the Notre Dame defense, another really good big X-style wide receiver in Nick Nash, over 6'3", and a nice solid cornerback from Ohio State. Some big program guys, Michigan, LSU, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Alabama. I love it, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Peace.